Hello friends, welcome to the Fundamental Pharmacy. Again I have come up with a new video for you. All GPAT Sniper DI pharmacist aspirants, this video is for you only, and this video is going to be very important for your all exams, all pharmacocompetitive exams. So please watch this video until the end. फंडामेंटल फार्मेसी में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज के इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम जानने वाले पार्ट 3, ये तीसरा वीडियो है हमारा क्रैकर एमसीक्यू सीरीज का। सो प्लीज मेरी आपके साथ एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि पूरा वीडियो देखिए, और अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आता है तो उसे लाइक जरूर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए चैनल को, बेल आइकन को दबाकर नोटिफिकेशन आपको तुरंत मिल जाए, और आपके दोस्तों के साथ वीडियो शेयर करना मत वीडियो। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम। So your first question is nothing but what do you mean by chemodomes? So it is a one term known as chemodomes. What do you mean by chemodomes? And your options are option A, plant with same species; option B, plant of same species, same morphology; option C, plant of same species, same morphology but different chemical constituent; and your option D is nothing but none of the above. So out of these options, your option C is the correct answer. Option C, that is a plant of same species, same morphology but different chemical constituent, having different chemical constituents, that is known as a chemodome. Mostly it is a term applied to a microbiology either or pharmacognosy either. Okay, so ये जो टर्म है chemodomes, ये दो इसके लिए इसमें यूज होता है। either उसको जो भी माइक्रोब्स है उसके रिलेशन में ये टर्म यूज होता है, या फिर जो भी अपना बॉटनिकल जो है बॉटनी उसके रिलेटेड ये टर्म यूज हो है, या फिर आप कोग्नोसी बोल सकते हो कि फार्माकोग्नोसी में ये टर्म यूज होता है, या फिर बायोटेक भी बोल सकते हो उसको। ठीक है, सो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय chemodomes? So chemodomes, they are nothing but a chemotypes. Sometimes they are also known as a chemovore, and it is a chemically distinct entity of plant or microorganism with differences in the composition of secondary metabolite. Suppose that you have a plant, a digitalis. Okay, you know that digitalis has two types: digitalis lanata, digitalis purpurea, digitalis thapsi also. Okay, so all these digitalis are from same genus or same species. Okay, but if there is a difference in chemical constituents, like digitalis lanata has a lanthanocytes, digitalis purpurea has a purpurea glycosides A and B. So their chemical composition is different, chemical constituent is different. So if any plant or any micro to a particular species, particular genus, particular taxonomy, and but the plants are chemodomes. अगर कोई प्लांट में वो प्लांट के अगर दो डिफरेंट प्लांट है, उनका टेक्सोनॉमी सेम है, उनका जीनस सेम है, उनका स्पेसीज सेम है, मॉर्फोलॉजी भी सेम है, लेकिन उनमें क्या है कि केमिकल कंस्टिट्यूएंट्स अलग अलग है, तो उसको क्या बोलेंगे? केमोडोम्स. ओके, सो केमोडोम्स मींस नथिंग बट प्लांट ऑफ सेम स्पेसीज, सेम मॉर्फोलॉजी बट डिफरेंट केमिकल कंस्टिट्यूएंट. सो हियर योर ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, सो दिस क्वेश्चन इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर नाइपर, बिकॉज ये नाइपर में ऑलरेडी एक दो बार पूछा गया है, तो इसको थोड़ा सा सीरियसली ले लो. So next question is your, which one hormone is required for cell division? Okay, so there are different plant hormones, you know, auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, abscisic acid, etc., etc. Ethylene is also there. Okay, so out of these all plant hormones like auxin, cytokinins, gibberellins, ethylene, abscisic acid, so out of these hormones, which one hormone is required for cell division? Okay, so your options are, your question is nothing but which hormone is required for cell division, and your options are auxins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. So out of these four, which one is required for cell division? So here your option B, cytokinins, that is option B, cytokinins is the answer over here. Okay, so cytokinins are required for cell division. Okay, so what is auxins? Auxins, they are involved in the promotion and elongation of stem. Okay, so they are also known as shoot growth regulatory. They are responsible for the growth of shoot. Okay, so auxins are responsible for the shoot development. Okay, cytokinins are responsible for the root development. Okay, abscisic acid, they are nothing but the growth inhibitors. They are nothing but the growth inhibitors. Okay. Then ethylene is a fruit ripening hormone. Fruit ripening hormone. Okay. Then next question. So here option B is your answer. Okay. Cytokinins are required for cell division. So actually this is a part of your biotechnology, plant tissue culture. If you have studied plant tissue culture well, then you can understand this question. Okay. And this question is very important because in NIPER they used to ask such questions. Which hormone is responsible for shoot development? Which hormone is responsible for root development? Which one is a inhibitor? Which one is a fruit ripening hormone? Like that. Okay. So ethylene is a fruit ripening hormone. If this hormone is involved in the closing of your stomata. Okay. This is also involved in the closing of your stomata. Inhibit the leaf, promote the growth. Okay. Promote the cell division and auxiliary bud outgrowth after root growth. So cytokinins are called as a root growth promoter. Okay. Then auxins are called as a shoot growth promoters. Okay. So that's why auxins will promote shoot, and there are also gibberellins. Gibberellins are also one of the class of plant hormones. Okay. They also they are involved in the germination of seed, stem growth, fruit development, etc., etc. Okay. So we'll take a next question. So which vitamin is an essential part of plant tissue culture? Which vitamin is an essential part of plant tissue culture? Your options are vitamin B1, vitamin B12, vitamin C, and pantothenic acid or vitamin B5. Okay. So which vitamin is essential for the plant tissue culture? Vitamin A, vitamin B12, vitamin C, and pantothenic acid. So यहाँ पे here is your answer is vitamin B1. Option A. Option A is the correct answer. Vitamin B1 is essential for plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture. That is the essential component of plant tissue culture media. Okay. Vitamin B1 is the essential component of vitamin B1 is essential component of plant tissue culture media that is required for culture media. Okay. So here you should know what are the different composition of your plant tissue culture media. So what are the different composition? You will have here micronutrients, macronutrients, then vitamins, amino acids and nitrogen supplement, carbon source will be there. Okay. Then growth regulators will be there like plant hormones. Then again solidifying agent will be there like your agarose or gelatin. Okay. So what are the different vitamins required for the culture media? Okay. So culture media के लिए कौन से विटामिन लगते हैं? So आपके लिए लगता है इनोसिटॉल. कल्चर मीडिया के लिए, प्लांट टिश्यू कल्चर के लिए जो कल्चर मीडिया यूज होता है उसमें कौन से विटामिन रिक्वायर्ड है? उसमें इनोसिटॉल रिक्वायरमेंट है. इनोसिटॉल उसको अपन बोलते हैं B8, विटामिन B8. देन सेकंड वन इज थायमिन. थायमिन मीन्स विटामिन B1. विटामिन B1 is also important. Then again pyridoxine, nicotinic acid, biotin, folic acid, ascorbic acid, pantothenic acid, tocopherol. All these are the required, but out of all these vitamin B1 is a very essential. Okay. So vitamin B1 is an essential part of plant tissue culture media. Remember. Okay. This question was asked in the NIPER. Even it was asked in GPAT also. Okay. So you should take care of it. Next question. Let's move on. Next question. Which one of the following is a growth inhibitor of the plant? Which one of the following is a growth inhibitor of the plant? Okay. So your options are auxins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, and gibberellins. So again here your correct answer is nothing but abscisic acid. You know that auxins are responsible for the shoot development. Okay. Cytokinins are the responsible for the root development or cell division. Okay. Then abscisic acid is nothing but the growth inhibitor hormone. Gibberellins is also a little bit growth inhibitor also. Okay. So here option C is your answer. Okay. Next question we will take. One of the following is used for fruit ripening purpose, as I have already told you. Okay. Your options are auxin, cytokinin, gibberellic acid, 3 and ethylene. Okay. So already मैंने आपको जो बोला है already, ethylene is a hormone that is required for fruit ripening purpose. Okay. अगर कोई फ्रूट को पकाना है आपको, जो प्लांट में जैसे पकता है ना, फ्रूट पेड़ के ऊपर ही पकता है, तो उसके लिए कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है? उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इथिलीन। ओके, सो इथिलीन नाम का जो हार्मोन है दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द फ्रूट राइपनिंग पर्पस। ओके, अगेन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आयरन कंटेंट इन सॉफ्ट जेलेटिन कैप्सूल शुड बी नॉट मोर देन, योर ऑप्शंस आर 10 ppm, option B 15 ppm, option C 20 ppm, option D 30 ppm. Okay, so here your answer is option, content of soft gelatin capsule should not be more. So iron content of your soft gelatin capsule should be not more than 15 ppm. See, while preparation of gelatin, while preparing the gelatin from bones and various bones and pork skin, so in that process the gels etc etc, so the iron will be a impurity in the gelatin. Okay, so iron will be always present in the gelatin. While preparing the gelatin there is a iron. Okay, so it is present in the raw gelatin as well as water used for the manufacturing. So excess quantity of iron can cosmetic and will react with organic components. Yes, therefore the limit of iron content is specified for the capsules. Okay, so what is the limit? It should not be more than, आयरन एज ए इम्प्योरिटी आता है, कहाँ से आता है? एक तो जिस वेसल में आप उसको बॉईल कर रहे हो वहां से आएगा, या फिर जो वाटर यूज कर रहे हो वो आएगा। सो जब आयरन जो आता है आपकी जेलेटिन में, तो वो आपके दूसरे कंपोनेंट के ड्रग के साथ रिएक्ट कर सकता है, कलर्स के साथ रिएक्ट करता है, इंटरफेयर करता है। सो उसका एक लिमिट डिसाइड किया गया है एफडीए ने, तो दैट इज नथिंग बट द 15 ppm. So iron content of soft gelatin capsule should be not more than 15 ppm. Okay, so we will take a next question. What is the volume capacity of capsule number 3? You know, your options are, first of all see your options. So what is the capacity of capsule number 3? Your option A 0.30 ml, option B 0.75 ml, option C 0.25 ml, option D 0.55 ml. So here your option A is the correct answer. Okay, so here option A is the correct answer. There is one trick. This capsule number 3 for 3, you can make a trick like this. The capsule number 3 will consist of 0.3 ml of volume. Its volume capacity is 0.3 ml, 0.30 ml. Okay, so you have different capsule size. 00 is there, 0 is there, then capsule number 1 is there, 2 is there, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so these are their capsule size. Okay, so 00, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the 00 size you can incorporate about 1.01 ml of liquid. Okay, 1.01 of liquid in capsule number 00. In capsule number 0 you can incorporate 0.68 ml of liquid. Okay, then in case of capsule number 1 you liquid. In case of capsule number 2 you can incorporate 0.37 ml of your liquid. In capsule number 3 you can incorporate 0.30 ml of liquid. In capsule number 4 you can incorporate 0.20 ml of liquid. In capsule number 5 you can incorporate 0.13 ml of liquid. Okay, so these are the volume of capacity. It is easy to remember. Just capsule number 00 is the largest capsule, capsule number 5 is the smallest capsule. Okay, capsule number 5 is the smallest one. So here your answer is option A, this 0.3 ml, 30 ml. So capsule number 3 will have a capacity of 0.30 ml. Remember 3 for 3. Okay, then again next question is, Bloom's strength of gelatin is carried out at. Bloom's strength of gelatin is carried out at. Your options are option A in 6.66% solution, option B at the 10 degrees Celsius, option C in the 8% solution, option D both A and B. So here your options correct answer is option D, both A and B. Okay, so Bloom's strength of gelatin is carried out at 10 degrees Celsius in the 6.66% of percent solution of gelatin weight by volume. Okay, so you should know what is Bloom's strength. I will explain. Okay, so Bloom strength is nothing but it is a measure of cohesive strength of your gelatin. Bloom strength is nothing but it is a measure of cohesive strength of your gelatin, that is the cross linking that occurs between gelatin molecule and proportional to the molecular weight. Okay, so cross linking that occurs in the gelatin with comparison with its molecular weight. जैसे जैसे molecular weight gelatin का बढ़ता जाएगा वैसे वैसे उसकी cross linking बढ़ती जाएगी. So उसका जो है cross linking that occurs between gelatin molecule and its molecular weight, that is nothing but the Bloom strength. Okay, and it is expressed as a load in gram required pushing the standard plunger. Okay, how you can determine the Bloom strength, that is the procedure of Bloom strength measurement of Bloom strength. कि Bloom strength कैसे मेजर करेंगे, तो उसके लिए एक apparatus होता है उसका. सो प्लंग उसको बोलते हैं स्टैंडर्ड प्लंजर. ओके, तो प्लंगर को दैट इज द इट इज द एक्सप्रेस्ड एज अ लोड इन ग्राम्स. It is expressed as a load in grams required for pushing a standard plunger a set of distance into prepared gelatin. Okay, gelatin gel पुश करने के लिए जितना आपको लोड लग जाएगा उसको ये करते हैं. ठीक है, उसको मेजर करते हैं और वो होता है ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ जिलेटिन. ठीक है, तो ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ जिलेटिन इट इज द टेस्ट इज कैरिड आउट, द टेस्ट इज मेजर्ड. You have to prepare a 6.66% solution of gelatin at 10 degree Celsius. Okay, so उसका मेजरमेंट करने के लिए जिलेटिन का ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ का मेजरमेंट करने के लिए आपको जिलेटिन का सॉल्यूशन बनाना पड़ेगा 6.66% at a 10 degree temperature you have to make a solution. और उसके ये होने के बाद उसके ऊपर आपको टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा जो प्लंजर का टेस्ट है वो. तो आप यू कैन कैलकुलेट द ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ जिलेटिन. ठीक है, तो आपको ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ क्या है वो समझ में आना मांगता, दैट इज विद द प्रोपोर्शनल इंक्रीज इन मॉलिक्यूलर वेट. ठीक है, जिलेटिन का जैसे जैसे मॉलिक्यूलर वेट बढ़ता है उसमें क्रॉस लिंकिंग हो जाता है मॉलिक्यूल्स का, तो उसको बोलते हैं ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ. और इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज जेलिंग स्ट्रेंथ. ठीक है, इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज जेलिंग स्ट्रेंथ. सो नॉर्मली जो ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ होता है उसका रेंज होता है 150 to 250 ग्राम. ठीक है, remember Bloom strength is also known as gel strength and it is a measure of cohesive strength of cross linking that occurs between gelatin molecules and it is proportional to the molecular weight of gelatin. Higher the Bloom strength, more will be the stability of your capsule shell. So ideally a gelatin shell should have more stable will be the gelatin. Okay, ज्यादा अगर Bloom strength होगा तो gelatin ज्यादा स्टेबल होगा. ओके, नॉर्मली क्या रेंज होता है उसका 150 होता है, इस रेंज में ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ होना चाहिए. ठीक, और दूसरा एक पॉइंट है कि कॉस्ट ऑफ जिलेटिन इज बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ. जिसका ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ ज्यादा होगा उसी का कॉस्ट ज्यादा होगा, उस जिलेटिन का कॉस्ट ज्यादा होगा. ओके, इज दैट क्लियर कि ये ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ के बारे में सब कुछ मालूम होना चाहिए. ठीक है, सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज योर soft gelatin shell has a Bloom strength of. Your options are option A 150 to 200, option B 200 to 300, option C 50 to 100, option D none of these. So the question is nothing but your soft gelatin shell has a Bloom strength of. Option A is 150 to 200 Bloom, second option is 200 to 300, third option is nothing but your 50 to 100, option D is none of these. So here option A is the correct answer, 150 to 200. See, soft gelatin capsule has a less Bloom strength as compared to the hard gelatin capsule. Remember this line. Soft gelatin capsule जो shell जो होता है उसका Bloom strength कम होता है as compared to hard gelatin से. ठीक है, तो उसका Bloom strength होता है 150 to 200. ओके, अगर उससे ज्यादा होगा तो वो हार्ड जिलेटिन का होगा. तो हार्ड जिलेटिन शेल का कितना होगा ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ? मोर देन 200. ओके, ठीक है, 200 मोर देन 200. तो यहाँ पे सॉफ्ट जिलेटिन का जो ब्लूम स्ट्रेंथ है वो कितना होगा आपका 150 to 200. ओके, इज दैट क्लियर? लेट्स टेक नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज द आइसोइलेक्ट्रिक pH ऑफ टाइप A जिलेटिन? योर ऑप्शंस आर ऑप्शन A 7 to 9, 5.4 and your option C is 5 to 6, option D is none of the above. So what is the isoelectric pH of type A gelatin? Option A 7 to 9, option B 4.7 to 5.4, option C 5 to 6, option D none of the above. So here your option A is the correct answer. So isoelectric pH of type A gelatin. So यहाँ पे you should know what is isoelectric pH. Okay, the pH at which your gelatin will start coagulating. Okay, so you should know what is meant by isoelectric pH. So if you remember, type A gelatin has an isoelectric pH of 7 to 9. Type B gelatin has an isoelectric pH of 4.7 to 5.4. Okay, remember this. This is a isoelectric pH of type A. This is a isoelectric pH of type B. So these questions are very important. This Bloom strength isoelectric pH as per as the NIPER exam is concerned. Okay, so you should know what is different types of gelatin. So what is the type A gelatin, what is the type B gelatin? So in case of type A gelatin that is obtained from bones, okay, and that is a acid treated. Type A gelatin is obtained from bones and acid treated. Okay, so isoelectric pH 7 to 9. What is pork skin? Type B gelatin is obtained from pork skin. Okay, then again it is a alkali treated. A for acid, B for base. Base means alkali. So type B is a base treated. Okay, alkali treated, and it has isoelectric point around 4.7. Okay, that is 4.7 to 5.5. Okay, is that clear? Type A gelatin, type B gelatin. Type A is a acid treated, type B is a alkali treated. Okay, is that clear? ये जो MCQs है बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि इसमें से क्वेश्चन आता है नाइपर में, और जीपेट के लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. They can order me from these numbers. My number is displayed over the screen. देखिए क्विकली कौन से क्वेश्चंस थे. Question 1, what do you mean by chemodoms? So chemodoms are nothing but the plant of same species, same morphology, but they have different chemical constants. Okay. Second question was, which one is the hormone required for cell division? Okay, so cytokinins. Okay, cytokinins are required for the cell division. Okay. Third question was, which vitamin is essential part of tissue culture media? Okay, so your answer was vitamin B1. वैसे तो बहुत सारे विटामिन यूज किए जाते हैं, लेकिन विटामिन B1 इज द इसेंशियल पार्ट. ठीक है, विटामिन B1 इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज, व्हिच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज ग्रोथ इनहिबिटर इन द प्लांट? कि दिस वाज द आंसर वाज द एबिसिजिक एसिड. सो एबिसिजिक एसिड इज द ग्रोथ इनहिबिटर इन द प्लांट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज, व्हिच हार्मोन इज यूज्ड एज अ फ्रूट राइपनिंग पर्पस? सो उसके लिए आपका आंसर था इथिलीन. Okay, so ethylene is a fruit ripening hormone. Then iron content of soft gelatin capsule. Iron content in the soft gelatin capsule cell, it should be not more than 15 ppm. What is the volume capacity of 3 or 0.30 ml? इसका correlation है. Okay, so your answer was option A. Bloom strength test for gelatin is carried out as in the solution of 6.66% and at the 10 degrees Celsius. So your options here is your option D is correct. Okay. Next question was, soft gelatin capsule का Bloom strength का रेंज क्या है? तो उसका क्या है रेंज? 150 to 200. अगर उससे ज्यादा है तो वो हार्ड जेलेटिन का होता है. ठीक है, तो ये सॉफ्ट जेलेटिन का 150 to 200 होता है, हार्ड जेलेटिन का मोर देन दिस. ठीक है. आइसोलेटेड पीएच ऑफ टाइप ए जेलेटिन, तो उसका है 7 to 9. आइसोइलेक्ट्रिक पीएच ऑफ टाइप ए जेलेटिन 7 to 9. टाइप बी जेलेटिन का कितना होता है? 4.7 to 5.4. और ए टाइप ए मींस क्या? एसिड ट्रीटेड. टाइप बी मींस क्या? अल्कली ट्रीटेड. ठीक है. So thank you very much for watching this video again, and thank you for your time. प्लीज चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए. आपके कमेंट्स, आपके सब्सक्रिप्शन, आपके लाइक्स ही मुझे एनकरेज करेंगे और ऐसे वीडियो बनाने के लिए. ओके, सो थैंक यू वेरी मच.